maybe a shotgun for the home, but something that's shooting off 100 rounds in a minute, we don't need that.
So do you think that the teacher should carry?
With that type of shooting going down?
And should have that training?
With that type of shooting going down, I believe that now every school should have more police officers in the building. Every school. Because in schools, they have police officers there set to send people to jail in urban communities. So I think that every school should have a police officer, if not in every class. Now,
that's interesting that you say urban communities, because urban communities have the metal detectors and everything, where you got to go through, the metal detectors and everything. So do you think that in the suburban areas, they should also have metal detectors in suburban areas too? Because but then like the bars on the windows and everything, what is that saying to parents who are enrolling their students and their kids into these schools? Do you think that's giving the wrong message?
Yeah, I believe that a school shouldn't have no bars on it, because that's gonna turn into a jail. And when you turn things into like a jail environment, people act as if they're in jail. There was some type of experiment done that showed that if you could take common people and put them in a jail, and you just make them, some of the people the guards, some of the people the prisoners, they, after a while, they will act as if they are those people and play those roles to the T. And it'll take them a while to desensitize from that environment. So the bars will be a symbolism of them being like in a prison. We'll see a lot more incidents, because then it'll probably be turned to a gladiator sport. They'll be trying to figure out ways to get weapons in. Their focus wouldn't be on learning in school. We want to keep the bars out, but allow them. So
bars out, but you would say metal detectors.
I believe metal detectors are cool, and more security guards, and more police officers in the classes.
What I was hearing that, a lot of the suburban schools did not want the metal detectors like the urban schools.
And look at what's happening.
So what kind of message is that sending?
And look at what's happening. Like if you go to a club and they don't have security and everybody wants to go in the club and not be checked, our lives are in danger. So it's kind of
like the same thing, wouldn't you say? I mean, we need that. Rather it's in a suburban area, rather it's in an urban, community. We need those metal detectors because shooters are not of just one particular race.
But check this out. When we go to court, what they have? A metal detector. So you know what I'm saying? You're not going into court with a gun. You're not allowed to have one. So you have to remove that, go through that, and now you can go to court. Everybody, for the most part, in the court is unarmed, except the doggone security guard that's in there. Everybody else is unarmed.
That's a good point. So, what do you think about, so our gun policy?
Our gun policy...
What do you think about that?
Our gun policy, with the NRA...
Yeah.
It's all about money. So, they're going to keep it the way they have it because of money. Money talks. They are in the business of selling guns to make money. So they're going to probably continue selling their guns, because online you can buy guns to have shipped to your house. I don't know if it get flagged or not, but you can do it that way.
So without a permit, you can just be able to go online, and because with each state there's different types of rules and restrictions and permits. So are you saying that you can just go online and order one without having a permit?
But there's a danger though. When you buy a gun or try to order a gun, they do a background check on you. If it comes back flagged, there's a chance they can come to your house and send you to jail. See, that's something that a lot of people don't know. If you have an offense or a crime on your record...
You hear that, you guys. You hear that, listeners.
You can go to jail for that and pay a hefty fine. That's a big deal, because, like, when you first get a gun...
a fine. So not only jail time...
It's serious. Like, when you get a gun after committing an offense, you better talk to a lawyer. Because if you submit that paperwork through, the reason why it takes long for it to go through, it takes about an hour. The reason why is because you got to clear. If you do not clear, you will be seeing a police officer at your doorstep very shortly, or they will come in that store and send you off to jail because you just lied on a document. Yes. It sends it right to the department, the police department. They will come visit you. If they don't catch you in that store, they will meet you right at your house that you put on there, the address. And that will be a problem.
Okay. So that's, wow, man, that is crazy. Okay. There's my next question. I know that there's a lot of money is spent on, penitentiaries, right?
Yes. Yes.
Look, you're looking like I know where you're going with this. Mm-hmm. A lot of money is spent on keeping them open. Do you think that men and women are sent to prison on purpose with minimal charges so that the government makes more money?
See, you hit the nail right on the head. Money. I look at prison like a rat in a maze, but they also have blocks in the maze. First, when you go to jail, the first thing they want to rehabilitate you. What the heck is rehabilitate? You know what I'm saying? When you can get out of jail and you can't get a job, you can't get no decent place to stay. You can't even do basic voting. You can't vote in your area. You become as if you're a non-factor in your society after you did your time.
Who rehabilitated? No matter how much time? So it's no matter how much time you spend in there?
That's what a felony and certain misdemeanors. With a felony and certain misdemeanors, your rights get taken away. Your rights get taken away if you commit a felony, no question. And with certain misdemeanors, you have your rights taken. So I believe that jail and prison is all about money. And my one of my greatest teachers, he's off online and he's going through a lot of junk. It's Umar Johnson. Mm-hmm. And I believe him wholeheartedly when he made his video about the school to prison pipeline. You can look this up. The school to prison pipeline. It shows how the schools funnel black kids into prison by labeling them with these felonious, disabilities like ADHD, mental retardation, telling them that they're slow, active, hyperactive.
And they're doing this while they're incarcerated.
No, while they're in school. So
while they're in school.
I'm talking about how you do the, school to prison pipeline. So he talks about that. This is how you get money for those cities. Okay. Because this stuff doesn't happen with the wealthy or, the Caucasian people. This stuff, they don't have nobody in their school as a teacher or as a psychologist deeming their kids mentally retarded. I mean, go out and find it. You won't see it. Or getting money from the government because they child ADHD. You won't see that. But you see a lot of black parents signing their kids up for mental retardation and ADHD, ADD, all these terms, attention deficit disorder, all this because they get a check. So the fact of the matter is...
Now, when you say they, who is they?
The parents.
Who's getting the check?
The parents. The parents who signs up the kids, they get a check. So... why wouldn't I get that? I get some money for just labeling my kid with that, but then it's the labeling. When the kid gets old, it never leaves them. They're stuck with that brand. They're thinking, I'm different from everybody else. They're in a different classroom. Mm-hmm. So now they see everybody be joking them at times. Oh, you retarded. Look at the movie Prison Song. That kid was like, you're in special ed. That's going to affect people when they grow up. They're like, yo, look at that. The special ed man got a job over me. You know what I'm saying? It sticks with people. Right. Just any way to slight somebody. So the parents mess these kids up, and it's a psychological disadvantage from that point on for those particular children. So they're more inept to commit more crimes because the opportunities are very limited.
So you're saying that's what leads these particular, this situation, these particular students to commit crimes, which lands them in prison.
Yes, being deemed what they are.
But then the population there in prison.
See, I was getting to that.
Because everything is charged, everything that has a price tag on it.
Yeah, I was getting to that.
Oh, please, by all means.
When you place a child or a teenager or adult in prison, most of the time they're shipped off to these small towns who have like 2,000 people. But when you have a prison that's in a small town with 30,000 people, you just have 31,000 people now. You add those people to your city or your county, so it gives you more money. Your city gets more money for the people that's incarcerated, but those people ain't on the street. But when it becomes tax time, those people are added in, so you get a lot of money for that. That's why a lot of cities.
Who benefits from this? I mean,
the whole government.
When they're incarcerated, and you're saying that who's getting money when the inmates are incarcerated? Who's getting this money? Because you're saying taxes. Because their meals, you figure when you're in the penitentiary, what you get: meals, clothing. Who's getting this money, and who's paying for the meals, the clothes, the education, the books? I mean, everything.
We do.
So who's paying for that, and who's benefiting from this money?
We pay for this stuff. We pay for everything that an inmate go to jail for. Yes, taxpayers pay for all of that. That's why there's private prisons. That's why Michael Jordan invested in private prisons, because hey, the rules are different for getting the inmates in jail. It's all changes because you don't have to go through certain processes. Like when you first
So if he's investing in the money, investing in the prison,
he's going to get his return. When you do something, you get more of your return, because the prison's going to make sure that private prison's whole ability is to say, hey, you got a good product and your product is people. So we're going to make sure that those minimal sentences stick, so that now we're going to keep those people locked away who can't afford lawyers. So now that the fact that you're with pretty much a legal aid and not a real lawyer, because you can't afford one, that's poverty, we're going to make sure you go to jail for petty offenses that you would have probably got probation in a white community or sent home, that day. And now we get money. So with private prison, they're like, hey, here's your money, Michael Jordan. Thank you for investing in us. You want to open up a few more? And he'll probably be like, sure. Because he sees that he's going to get his money, and his money is made every time somebody walks into that jail criminally.
That is really oh my God.
One life lost, a few dollars gained.
Wow.
It's a sad cycle.
So then the government benefits as well.
I just read in a book that I'm reading right now. It said that we as people were intended on, if you work hard, you're going to become wealthy. That was deemed in the book untrue. Crime matters. Class matters. Sorry about that. Class matters. Class matters. If you grew up poor, you already got 2 feet in your back telling you that you're not going to make it. And that 1 foot is mean that you're like the LeBron James. You're like the Obama. But not everybody's going to be a LeBron James or an Obama.
Right.
You got to realize when one makes it, many will not. It's like the Hunger Games. When those 2 people were picked, a lot of people were just sitting there. That's how we're treated. Only a few will make it out to become wealthy or become, have a purpose and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do. Most people are destined to be poor because you're not taught.
That's a statement there. You said most people are destined to be poor, like it's a gift that's given to us.
Because look at welfare.
Like it's just wrapped up in a bow and given to us and saying, here you go, black people. I'm going to give you this gift, and that's poverty.
Look at welfare. A lot of white people on welfare. Black people on welfare too. But I'm envious of welfare. They get the best steaks. They get the best food. Their refrigerator more fuller than mine. The rent is a lot cheaper.
I think that it also kind of cripples our women, black women of color. And there's white women too that are on welfare, but I think it makes you lazy because you're expecting this money, that hard paying, taxpayers. Right.
You're definitely right.
Well, I'm working hard and taxes are, my taxes are coming out, and some of that portion, the percentage of that is going so that you can sit at home and receive this check. So I think it kind of just makes our, a society of lazy women. To me.
And, I believe that's probably one thing I see Trump working on, but if he do that, all hell gonna break loose. Because, like how you say, people are used to it. Yeah. If he was to stop it for 1 month, you're gonna see people get into all kinds of foolery.
I like how you say that, foolery. Chris, what do you think about capital punishment?
Whew. I think about capital punishment as a good service for people who deserve